Good morning. This is Morning Digest Wednesday edition, and I'm your host, Muiruri, and today we have something for you that is going to be of great interest, and you need to be ready for what we have. It is now called the digital pandemic. Let me give you the stats a bit. They say 90%, 95% have been affected by this digital pandemic. 1.9% of those 1.9% of those who have been attacked by this have committed suicide, and the levels of mental health situations that this has caused, it is alarming. We are talking about cyberbullying, and today I have an advocate for cyberbullying in the house. I want you to pick this link right away, like we normally do. Pick the link. It's already dropped on Elevate TV Facebook page, and you can drop it into all your friends right away, like we're doing right now. So this is a commercial break for that. Drop it, pick the link, and drop it. There, mine is done. Today we have a great discussion. Keep it Elevate TV, and we are going to be discussing cyberbullying and what you need to know and what you may have been doing and you don't know it's been bullying. Let me invite my guest today. She's of age. She can talk of herself, her name, and then we shall be done.
My name is Marjoline Kirima. I'm the director at End Cyberbullying Association, and I'm a banker by profession.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's good to have you. Cyberbullying, let me begin from there.
Yeah.
What is it?
Cyberbullying is harassment online in simple terms, but would like to define it as willful, repeated harm caused by use of electronic devices, computers, and mobile devices, and any other electronic device. I would like to explain that a little bit more and say that the willful part is that the person, the intention. To define cyberbullying, we have to look at the intention.
It has to be intent.
There has to be intent and then repeated.
Okay.
It's not one-off. It's something that happens more than once. And then harm. The individual who is the victim of cyberbullying has to deem that harm has been caused or feel hurt or harmed. And then, of course, a computer or an electronic device has to have been used. Yeah, so...
Let me just ask something before I give you some statistics I came across.
Yeah.
Do you, because we need to bring this into the people's mind.
Yeah.
Can you give me some examples of cyberbullying?
We have fake news. We have doxing. We have outing. There are so many doxing? Actually.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You know, big English is in Kenya we call it kizungu kubwa.
Yeah.
Just break it down, because you see, one of the things I discovered, you may be participating and you don't know,
and
so
you're not aware.
Give us some examples, because I want to show you something.
Yes. So for doxing and outing is generally being intentional, sending someone insults. It's more like trolling in more simpler language. We have what I called fake news. We've all received fake news at some point. We have I look at the ones more common here in Kenya would be, the other one would be phishing, sending of fake emails, and you know, fraud, online fraud. Online fraud is part of it. So I'd say those are the most common. And what is it?
Let me give you some statistics.
Yes.
I came across a document.
Yes.
This is from the United Nations Office for Drugs and Crime.
Yes.
This is a 2020 report.
Yes.
Okay? I want you to pay attention.
Yes.
Those of you are watching, pay attention.
Yes.
Now, they say Kenya is ranked the worst in bullies.
True.
On Twitter.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the survey went on to describe this. Kenyans have a capacity to come together and attack common enemies, as well as deconstruct both real and perceived enemies.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And they are called the famous KOT.
Kenyans on Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, let me show you something. They said, the survey continued to say that brands like, I'll not mention,
Yeah.
major brands,
Yeah.
they don't, now they have to think twice before they tweet about Kenya, right?
Yes.
And then they say today, no country dares on, an online feud with Kenyans unless they have, note this, a well-functioning mental health care system.
True, true.
Now, you know why I read that?
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you something.
Yes.
Just on the onset, because we don't have a lot of time today.
Yeah.
What are the effects?
The effects of cyberbullying range from depression. For children, they might actually drop out of school. For a normal individual mentor, it could drag them to a mental facility. I have dealt with a case like that while I was still working. It generally, cyberbullying actually demotivates people, considering that currently that most of the things we do on social media, we do digital, you work from your computer, and then continuously, if what you get from your computer is a negativity, most people will withdraw from it, and that also could mean that someone is not able to be able to perform their duties. Yes.
So the effects are, big time.
They are big time. Suicide actually is one of them, which we call cyberbullying, as a term used to describe suicide caused by
bullying.
By bullying. Yes, they are very fatal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The fatalities are big.
They're big.
I read something about. I have to admit, I was not very keen.
Yeah.
On this matter until I read a report of this lady, because we are in Kenya.
Yeah.
To contextualize it. This lady who was bullied and she literally committed suicide on the road.
Yes, she did.
So that's just one case. I met one time, I met an individual who had said somebody had picked her information and put it online, which is private information that was discussed somewhere. And I tell you, she was having mental issues.
Yeah.
That's when I discovered, by the way, this matter is big.
It is.
Now, if it is that big, what are people doing about it?
That is what actually, from our organization, I would really want to take a little bit time and see what us, or me personally, I'm doing in terms of...
I'm going to come there.
Okay, so what people...
What,
are
because
other
when
people,
I talk about people doing a bit,
yeah.
Do we have any government policies? Do we have...
yeah.
And focus on the government for now, because
Okay.
we'll come to where you are.
We have an organization that's mandated by the government that is called Incident Response Team.
In this country?
In this yes, in this country we have Incident Response Team, which is under Communications Authority of Kenya. And that is a mandated organization actually to deal with issues of cyberbullying.
In this country?
In this nation.
They have offices?
They do. They do have offices just under Communications Authority. It's a whole body with different departments.
Wow.
Yeah, most people I know are not aware of that, and the difference is there are different perspectives to that.
Are there any laws, or are there any laws passed by Parliament, or do we have laws
Yes,
that exist to protect people on this?
We have the Cyber Crimes Bill passed in 2018.
Yeah.
That was, there were several clauses that were not in agreement, and the biggest challenge is who has been prosecuted. I felt that the bill leaned more on online fraud in terms of money.
Yeah.
We've all received the SMSs for Tuma Pesa, kwa hii number, and those kind of things, and the bill was more on that, and more on also protection of, I would say maybe public figures in terms of, I would say politicians who are more affected, but cyberbullying is not an issue of actually politician or a known individual. It affects anybody, from children, because once the cyberbullies attack you, they do not actually, they will troll you, go for your family members, your children, and anyone.
Wow. You said something that just struck my mind.
Yeah.
Is it just, you said the cyberbullying is with the intent to harm, eh?
Yes.
Is it just about abusing? Is cyberbullying just abusing, or is it a white thing?
Cyberbullying is not just about abuses, actually. That is why, for me, I feel the need to put the definition, and that's actually definition is from the Cyberbullying Research Center, which has done a lot of research on it, so that any insult is not just cyberbullying. If someone comes online and probably puts, it is the intent.
The intent.
And especially when it is continuous. And you realize most of the people, it doesn't stop with just that. The perpetrators don't just come at you once. They will repeat again and again. The reason I look at the aspect of harm, if you perceived to have been hurt.
Okay.
The last 1 week, there was a lady who, she's a journalist, and there's a gentleman on Twitter who takes her photos, puts them on the wall, and takes photos with them, and then tags her.
Okay.
And Twitter came
I
out.
saw that.
You saw that?
Yes.
And Twitter, people came out and said, deal with it, because this is normal, and you just have a fun. You have a fun.
You have a fun.
Yeah, and somebody actually said, Cristiano Ronaldo, the footballer, is not complaining. What are you talking about? But
just looking for attention.
that is where we actually underline. If she perceives that it is harmful, it is cyberbullying.
Okay, it needs a very thin line.
Yeah.
You know, I can perceive I've been harmed.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing maybe, and I think we need to look at both sides.
Yeah.
All I'm looking for is followers.
Yes.
Or to create just drama online.
No, but we can already see a situation here where the individual who actually put it out, and actually she did reach out to the perpetrator several times and tell him, I don't like you doing that. He would close that account if she blocked him and open another one. That is the repetitive bit now.
That now is
yes,
serious and dangerous. Because we need to ask ourselves this question, and we've seen it in Kenya.
Yeah.
I'm talking about from Kenya. We've discovered that this is a business in Kenya.
It is.
I will not mention names,
Yeah.
but I can tell you so-and-so, 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 they make their money by bullying people online.
Yes.
And it seems like we have accepted that.
And this is why actually more people have to come out, more people. There's a saying that if the good people keep quiet, the bad people will keep winning. And the truth of the matter is that the good people are more than the bad people.
Really?
But good people who are quiet and doing nothing about it will be surpassed by the negativity of one individual who's been paid. And even if they pay more people, you can't pay this entire nation to push a negative connotation or something you want to push. But more people can come out, and that's what we are pushing. As an organization, myself, that's the campaign we are trying to put out here. As an individual, you have to stand up for this. When you see it, be an upstander. Speak up.
Let me tell you, let me read you a comment online.
Yes.
Somebody is asking,
Yeah.
Cybercrime bill was passed in Parliament in 2018?
This is the information people do not have.
These countries?
Yeah. Just like you said, incident response team is not known.
I think we're having a challenge there.
Yeah.
Wow, let's keep moving. And I want to ask you something that is very important about, you said something about the fatalities.
Yeah.
Do we have statistics in Kenya that show us fatalities?
We do not have specific. I
know why I'm asking you that.
Yeah.
Is because do we have? Because for me, I would want to see if that body has the statistics. The body that
is mandated to do that. Yeah.
Wow.
The statistics they have. Let's say I can't define and say they have or they don't. But to me, and what's out in the public, they have not released any data in that line.
So
like the fatalities in numbers have not been released to the public, if they have.
And when I talk about statistics, but not just fatalities, are there any like arrests, warnings to individuals, to organizations? Because you see, like I said, Kenya is a business. I mean, I know some guys.
It's a business.
And actually they first of all get to you, they tell you get this kind of money, or we will finish you.
Actually, sometime this year, there was a report that came out for Twitter, and 100 people's Twitter accounts were closed. after it was seen that these are paid individuals to just run.
In Kenya?
Yes, it did happen.
They didn't close the right ones.
They did close, because usually, actually, even the big wigs, what they will do, they will pick, you see, it's one person. We will not mention their names like we said, but it is one individual who gets other individuals. So these other individuals keep pushing the agenda more than even the person who's been paid, because in turn, he'll pay them. But 100 accounts have actually been closed over that matter by Twitter.
I'd really want to talk to Twitter. I really want to talk to Twitter guys.
Yeah.
Now, I want, before we get to what Marjorie is doing,
Yeah.
because we need to get to that, because you're one of those people who is doing a noble job.
Thank you.
I must accept that you're doing a noble job.
Yes.
Let me ask you something that maybe somebody would want to know.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching and say, how do you begin to notice I'm being bullied?
For an adult, it's not very hard to notice that you're being bullied, because as an adult, you can tell. You can tell you've gone online. There's someone probably, and one of the things actually to note for adults on online bullying, it's not necessarily that it is on your page. Sometimes it's in your inbox. Someone who sends you continuous abusive messages, insults. Sometimes it's threats to families. They keep insulting you continuously. Even that is cyberbullying in itself. And for an individual, for an adult, you can tell, because you feel threatened, it is harmful to you, and you can tell your information probably is out in the wrong place. For children, a parent can be able to see by change of behavior. Does your child who probably wanted to be on the computer is no longer interested? Do they look uneasy every time they go on the computer? Do they come from using the computer and they look angry and depressed? Those are things you can pick from a child.
Okay.
As and there is a lot of the parent can do. Probably we'll get to that.
We'll
also.
get to that.
Yes.
You know, I was abused one time. Not once, actually. Somebody has been sending inboxes to me, abusing me, but I never respond.
And that's actually the aspect I would
so I should feel aggrieved.
Actually, we'll also move to the digital resilience part, because how did you get over it, and you're here?
Personally, I don't respond. There's a guy who kept sending. So I never responded, even one day. So he just...
So he quit. He
faded away. Faded away. There's somebody here online, Peter Maina.
Yes.
Saying cyberbullying victims generally manifest psychological problems such as depression, anxiety, loneliness, so low self-esteem, social exclusion, school phobia, poor academic performance. And this is what he says. Thank you, Marjolinr Kirima, for these amazing insights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. We're about to go for a break, and I want to ask you something. Yeah?
Yes.
How does one report bullying?
Awesome. Our organization has actually a contact where you can report bullying. The reason I will not send anyone to go report to the bodies that are there. That is why we have an organization. We have a more direct link to the same. We actually work hand in hand with those same mandated organizations. So we report to them directly. If you're being cyberbullied, you can talk to us. We have an email. We have actually a line where you can directly report with evidence, and we act on it immediately.
Wow.
Yes.
So once I report to you?
You report to us. We work around actually resolving cyberbullying from an aspect of, is someone writing to you? Or is someone using your photos? This is the most common.
Yeah.
People pick your photo and open an account with your name and now start posting, this is what you're doing. So we write to them. I actually write to them from a capacity of director at the organization and ask them that this is not right. The owner of this has reported that they are not comfortable, you having to use their personality or use their whatever it is. And sometimes people do that to even sell, because you see there are many people who might know you as a journalist. So when the things are being sold to them, they're assuming it is you doing that. So we write to them, and most of the people will always say, I'm not aware. I didn't know that is wrong, and I'm very sorry, and they will pull the account down. Yes.
Also, they really do.
They do.
One time they hacked into I used to have a Yahoo mail.
Yeah.
and I was outside the country.
Yes.
So it was past that I've been captured in Cameroon, and they're asking I'm asking people to send some money some dollars to some guys. Then somebody sent me a WhatsApp and said, I think your accounts are hacked.
It's been hacked. Those are fake news now.
So you find so that's how they do it, eh? Wow.
They
so
even kill people. This past week, a journalist was announced that she had tried to commit suicide, and absolutely, it is so wrong, considering that it's someone actually who's been struggling with a form of sickness, and then you just come and say she did.
You know, our former president was killed online one time.
Yeah.
He was killed online.
There's a merciless militia online that needs to find information and know that the people on the other end are real people who with real feelings, real families, and it is good to keep thinking that would you look at the same person and tell them the things you're writing to them?
Well, some of these people don't think like that.
Yeah.
And I think they say these streets, you have to develop a thick skin.
Yeah.
We are going to go for a break, and we are going to focus on what you're doing.
Yeah.
But as we go for a break, I want to show this. What is this?
It's the other side. Just
all right, this other side.
Kuwa Mwema.
Kuwa Mwema.
Kuwa Mwema is a campaign that we are running. We intend to equip young people with skills to spark discussion, plan initiative, lead activities.
Hold it there. We're going for a break, and as we come back, we'll be talking about the Kuwa Mwema campaign that is going on to end cyberbullying in our country and even wherever you are. Remember, this affects you, whether you think about it or not. It will come to you somewhere. And you will know someone, you may get involved with somebody, you may get involved by being bullied, you may get involved by one way or another. Keep it elevate. We are coming back.
There is no town, there is no city, there is no nation without fathers.
They went before us and set the stage of what we see in the gospel today.
It's immediately when I got saved.
Wow.
The Lord placed in my heart passion for souls.
They fought the battles and prepared the way.
They were told this miracle worker is here from Kenya. He has troubled so many churches in Kenya. Troubled. Be careful. Others said he's a false prophet, but the sick did not listen to that. They needed it.
What did they do that we are not doing?
We believed the word of God that it is true. I believe the word of God that by his stripes I was healed.
Do not fear, for you will not be ashamed.
The gospel then and the gospel now.
God says, do not be dismayed.
We didn't have the technical gospel that people have today. If you believe, bow your head, raise your hand, come forward. No. No. People just stood up and began to repent by themselves.
Wow.
Others crying on the floor, saying, save me, save me, save me.
Oh, Jesus.
Tracing the mantles.
Well, welcome back. We're back on Elevate, and we are talking about cyberbullying, and Marjorie is in the house. She'll be bringing this thing to live and showing us where we need to change and how we need to change, and she's running a campaign, Kuwa Mwema.
Yes.
Now, before we go to the Kuwa Mwema campaign,
Yes.
how does, I'm just thinking about who are the most vulnerable people to bullying?
The most vulnerable would be the young people, and young here I mean the youth. Let me actually
They're actually the biggest
youth.
users online.
Yes, let's say the youth. However, there are other aspects of people who could get bullied also, but the biggest population is the youth. So the other aspects would be, are you out in the public? What are you doing? Maybe if are you a more known personality? The journalists are a bigger target, I think, for being on air all the time. But it is the youth. Yes.
Wow. Just thinking, why do people bully? You know, why would I just think, you know, is it an emotional problem or just nasty?
There's a nasty issue and also there's an emotional part. Most cyber bullies might have been bullied. We can't say 100% because actually cyber bullying, there's the usual bullying, which is a traditional bullying. And I think we can say actually what the difference is so that most people are not thinking right now, you mean there are people beating each other? Because initially bullying was a playground, physical, you know, but cyber bullying now is online. And this one actually, what makes it worse is how time. You can be bullied 24/7. Unlike bullying where at least you went to school or you're in a location where you're bullied and move. This one is 24/7.
Wow.
The reach. You could be bullied by a group of 2 people or maybe even 10. This one, it could hit millions in a minute. It just needs to be something catchy, could be a video or anything, and those aspects are what makes actually cyberbullying a bigger issue actually, a menace actually.
It's a menace.
It's a menace. It's a menace. So with that we can say that the perpetrators mostly are, some people are troubled, some are bored, not necessarily like, and others have no information. And I feel the people that are without information are the bigger population.
I think I'll report something to you today, seriously. Somebody has been running videos of my friend. And you know what they do? The man was doing some form of teaching or training. So they pick portions. Actually, he has picked several portions of it and run it online and then said stuff over it. Is that bullying?
It is.
So this guy is a bully?
It is a bully. And some of these things, we take them back to the law. And actually, this now comes with the aspect of, has your friend tried to reach the person doing that?
Because you are going to reach him for me. Today, you're going to write him a letter and tell him the persons on that video feel aggrieved that you are doing this and you should stop it and you should pull it down from your site.
Absolutely. That's actually what we do. If he doesn't do that, now we move on with the next step. We'll actually tell him what the action will take.
So my friend, if you're listening, we are coming. We are going to help you today. We are going to help you.
And by the way, these cases are reported to the DCI. There's a whole cyber safety crime.
There's a guy in this city, that's what he's doing, picking people's videos, cutting them down. I'll show you the site. Picking them, cutting them, then using what they are saying to create a story that is not there. And unfortunately, he's using on a religious platform. That's the worst part.
No, that's not allowed.
He should be talked to by you. Today you will write him a letter. Today. I'll give you an official
talk to him.
To write something to him. Stop harassing and bullying.
Sure.
That's harassment.
Kuwa mwema. So let me start by actually saying what cyberbullying is.
Yes. Let me ask you, where did it begin? What made you begin this?
I began End Cyberbullying Association. Let me actually say, okay, the organization came later, but in the year 2012, one Sunday morning, there was a plane crash. And we lost the Minister of Education then, was George Saitoti. And I remember the next morning, most people, as usual, that trends in Kenya. But then the social media was not as huge as it is now. The usage wasn't as big as it is now. And the next morning, I remember there was an hashtag, Rest in Peace, Caroline. And they were referring to Mutuku actually, who had made a remark on the accident. And I remember by that time I was just a parent. I was a new parent actually. And I kept thinking, when you're a parent and you wake up to news that your child rest in peace. And the worst part is that she was not dead.
Ooh.
It was an hashtag to drag her like she should be dead because she had made a remark that was misinterpreted. And I say misinterpreted because she did come clean about it. She had mentioned that she hopes that the victims of the plane crash did not suffer and died at the spot. And she was told that, were you wishing that these people died? Truth of the matter is that they were already dead. I think it's something we would all think about. If you hear someone has passed on in an accident, you want to imagine, you hope it was not a struggle. Maybe it was at the spot, it was you're not saying that you wish they are dead. But that misinterpretation led to an hashtag, which was rest in peace, Caroline. And that troubled my mind because I was a parent, a new parent, and I kept thinking, the mother to this lady wakes up. Who's going to tell her this is an hashtag? Considering these are probably older people. And from that place, I started to actually try and find out, what is this? How do we deal with this? Who is this that feels it's okay to kill other people online? And I started to study now what cyberbullying is. I would speak to anybody who was willing to listen. I also wanted to see if other people felt that way. Most people did, but most people did not know what to do. I went on a research, and by 2018 I registered the organization, and we went on. The idea of the organization, the reason is because we wanted to reach more people. End Cyberbullying Association, commonly referred to as ECBA, was generally formed to combat the growing cases of cyberbullying in Kenya.
Wow.
That was our main focus. We wanted to sensitize people on how the importance of peaceful, harmonious coexistence on social media platforms. You
should have been included in BBI.
Where we nobody maligns, harasses the next one, don't assassinate the next person's character. And that's why now we have the campaign. This campaign is to equip the young people. We want every young person, because these are the people on social media. We want to get the young people to be equipped with knowledge and skills, to plan initiatives, like I said, to spark discussion, to lead activities, because Kuwa Mwema is a campaign that we take to schools, to universities, to every young people's groups, even to organizations, because we want a young person in a university to pick up this, talk to the other people, spark that discussion among themselves, start an initiative, start an activity around it, form a digital club, and then take it probably to the community.
Wow. Big dreams, eh? Dreams are valid.
They are very valid.
It's very valid.
Yeah.
How far have you been able to reach currently?
We have reached out to masses. Would you say in numbers?
Okay, let me. Okay, when I say reach out, have you reached out to government agencies? Have you reached out to, what you call NGO organizations? Have you reached out to religious organizations, to schools? We have reached out to schools. We've reached out. Actually, let me start by saying that Kuwa Mwema plans a national launch this coming Friday the 8th. That is next week on Friday. Next week on Friday. The campaign is a national launch. You're invited. We invite you actually. Now, actually, what you do, look at that camera.
Yes.
You invite everybody.
We invite you for our launch, our national launch on the 8th of October. More details are on our social media pages and our website, which is www.ecbakenya.org. So,
So we are invited.
You're invited.
We won't get crashing, eh?
No.
All right. Where do you want to do it?
Those are the details that we'll communicate on the social media pages, actually. Good.
So we are talking about you've been able to reach out the schools.
Actually, the last school we went to was of Jericho, where we spoke to over 300 Form 1s. And the idea is actually to move with that, get the Form 1s trained. What we actually are teaching them is digital citizenship. There is so much information that is not out here. Digital citizenship entirely covers the responsible use and appropriate behavior on the net. So we want the young people to know what is their digital footprint. Digital footprint is everything you put on social media. That who you are. You had earlier said that you have checked mine. You know, you can check someone's. You can check someone's digital footprint entirely and know who this is about. And one of the things that young people do not know is that this affects you. As you look for jobs, nobody is going to tell you on your face that the reason we are not picking you is because you're a bully.
You're a bully, yeah.
Yeah, but it will
Those
affect.
are some of the things I want you to discuss later, because I put them down. I was thinking about them and I said,
Yes.
what are the social, the social, the damage socially it does to an individual? Because you may think that you're trolling somebody.
Yeah.
You may think that you're just having fun, like some of them say. What is the end result? Because like now you've just mentioned jobs.
Yeah.
Do you know I saw a lady who was fired?
Lose your job.
She was fired because of her Facebook content.
Yes, and someone lost her position. We all know about that case where a lady was elected in a board and then they found out what she had said earlier and dismissed her.
Yeah.
You do not want to lose such opportunities for just being careless. It's good to find information. Even if you have put out, most people ask, what if I have already been putting this information out here? You can still go back and clean up your digital footprint. You can go back all the way.
Do you know the internet never forgets?
It never forgets, but it is better that you've removed it because the usual people are not finding it unless someone who wants to go right and find what's at the back.
You know, one time, this is what happened to me. I saw a report online by a person I know, and they had done a film documentary on somebody.
Yes.
And they had said very, very interesting things. And one of the people mentioned there was my friend. I think I got agitated. So I wrote back and said, this is not researched well. This is not done very well. This is, you're just trying to bully and all that. Yeah. Then you should have seen the following comments. Yeah. For 5 days, they followed me. Comments. Then later the man reached out. He's a well-known journalist. He's a friend of mine. He reached out to me and said, Moses, you should have checked this film and this film and this film so that you know where we are coming from. Yeah. And so when he did that, this is what I did. Yeah. You can go online and check on his site. Yeah. I wrote personally, said, I am sorry, so-and-so, for not following it through. Because, you can pick information in the middle and then think this is what somebody is saying. Yeah. So I went back, like 4 films back. I noticed it was a feature. It was going on a feature. So I wrote back. Yeah. And this is evidence online. I said, I'm sorry. Yes. I did not do my background. Yeah. And I apologize to you, your family, and the organization you represent for the comments that I made, and let this be official. It is there online by me.
And that is good. That's good. That's taking responsibility actually online. It is it's being able to stand up for something and know that you see you had no bad intention.
Yes, I had no bad intention.
Yes, and that is exactly now why you're able to come back and say. But you see, if you have gone out and insulted someone, you're not even able to come back, because how do you take back the words,
Yeah, you can't take them back.
You can't take back the words. That is why you have actually all the time to choose. And for us, we use the acronym THINK. Anytime you want to do a post on social media, you want to say, we say THINK.
Think.
Is it true? T is for, is it true? Is it helpful?
Okay. Hold it there.
Yes.
Tell it to them. Tell it to somebody. Just look at them and say,
anytime please. You want to post anything on social media, let's use the acronym THINK. T is for, is it true? What you're about to write, the person you want to address, that information you want to give them, is it true? H is for helpful. Is it helpful? How is it going to help them? Is it inspirational? Is it necessary? And the bottom line is it kind?
Wow.
You do not really have, if whatever you want to post does not fit that criteria, maybe it is true, but then how inspirational is it? Is it even kind? Finding information about someone that might be, maybe let's say it's helpful, but is it true?
You know, we live in a culture where if I get something about you, I put it online because I want followers. You know, we have these followers. We have a pandemic called followers. We need followers.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for followers. If you trip and fall, she fell.
I get it.
In fact, if I get the video, the better.
Yeah.
If she's in hospital and gasping for breath.
It's still news.
Oh my goodness, that's great news. And then I put a caption there and people follow, like. So is it selfishness?
It is selfishness and lack of kindness, because that's why when I weighed in with all the research I had done on cyberbullying, I wanted to see which angle would give, how would we help the perpetrator and the victim? How do we get to, because a perpetrator is also an individual who can turn around, and actually those we talk to turn around. They do they do turn around, and I keep an open mind, and I have the faith and belief that people will change, that that mindset will change over time, that finding negative news about someone and wanting to push it around is not kindness in any form.
Let me say something else also that you can comment on.
Yeah.
You see what strengthens these guys? They put dirty news there. We said we don't mention names.
Yeah,
they even, you know what they do? They troll people. Then they have these funny magazines they run.
Yeah.
But now you see corporates are advertising.
Yeah.
So is it that they are being bullied to advertise, or is it that they are also, then that means our corporates are actually participants and funding bullying.
And that is why this campaign cannot be about me, it can't be about you. This campaign has to be about this nation, the organizations in this nation, the private sector, the public sector. Every individual has to feel, because cyberbullying gets to all of us. Like a week ago, there was an organization bullied. There was a delete a certain app hashtag that went for days. And I can tell you for free, people had screenshots showing that they're deleting the app. It is good that those organizations should know that there is a digital reputation management. Are they aware? Do they know that there's something that can be done? What is their part that they can play for us to reach these specific people? Is there enough information out here? Has enough awareness been created? It has not.
So those are criminals.
They are.
Because if you close down an organization, it has employed families, it has employed individuals. We are looking for jobs. We are saying there are no jobs.
And those are the effects of cyberbullying.
Yeah,
they can take down an organization entirely.
Yeah.
Because even cybercrime, which we do not actually want to go there, is part of it. It is sometimes you'll be intimidated. You either give us this amount or we,
I'm telling you, that gentleman, who I'm not mentioning, he had actually told the guys in that organization, for him to pull down the story, to pull down, he had quoted about 16 million Kenya shillings. In fact, the guys decided, okay, let's go to court. Let's see what happens. And that thing melted somewhere.
It ended.
Yeah. It's because we have very, 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 very weak laws to defend people online.
Yeah.
So have you reached out to the legislators?
Yes.
Have you reached out to Parliament? Have you reached out to so that some of these people can begin to introduce some of these laws inside? I remember one of our MPs.
Yes.
She doesn't have children. She's a female MP. She doesn't have children. And people picked it up.
Yeah.
And they really pushed it. And when you think about it, it's not even kindness. We are not working on kindness.
There needs to be action taken, even as we come to kindness. And I think this is where we want to partner with the government to be able to educate the masses on the cybercrimes bill. What does it cover? Who is covered? How do you go to court about the same?
Wow.
Because as an organization, when you report to us, we deal with what we are able to. When we realize what we are dealing with is far and beyond us, we move to the DCI, the Cybercrimes Unit, where we pass that information there. Yes.
Marjorie, we don't have enough time.
Yes.
I think this is very big.
It is.
I hope you're ready to run this race.
I am.
is something big.
It is.
There's somebody online who is saying, I like the think formula.
Yeah.
It is true, helpful, inspirational, and it's kind.
Yes.
Wow.
We have to think that
So
way.
you're ready to run.
I am ready, and would want really to take organizations that feel that they would like to be part of this campaign, to assist us, to join us, actually partner with us financially, to push a message that favors everyone. Nobody, in the words of Martin Luther, what affects another person indirectly or directly affects you.
Yeah.
So,
I want to give you a minute.
yes.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Appeal. Make an appeal.
I would like to speak actually to the government, to the organization, to the private sector organizations, and ask that they join us in this campaign, which is Kuwa Mwema. Kuwa Mwema is about making kindness making kindness a normal, a social norm, through equipping young people with skills, and knowledge to spark discussions, plan initiatives. I believe that with this we can be able to end cyberbullying. If we all put our hands together, put your best foot forward, we raise awareness, provide information, and actually I need to touch on this and say that we do offer counseling. For any person who needs counseling, you're being cyberbullied, you're out there and wondering who to reach out to, please reach out to ECBA and Cyberbullying Association. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram. We have a website where you can just go and give your details and write about it. We'll get back to you. Our email is info@ecbakenya.org. We can talk to you.
Wow.
We have qualified psychologists.
I think I'll pick my board now and say, Kuwa Mwema. This is a campaign that we want to run.
Yes.
So I want to appeal also to those of you who are watching.
Yeah.
I want you to crop this out and put it on your page,
Yes.
Kuwa Mwema, and appeal to your followers not to troll people online.
Yeah.
And as we close, I really have to thank you.
Yes.
Your busy schedule,
Yeah.
your busy time, just
Yeah.
to find time to be here with us.
Yes.
I really, really am honored. And I have to say this from here, you are doing a noble work.
Thank you very
This
much.
is a noble thing. I've
Asante.
seen people do stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen people begin organizations for different reasons.
Yeah.
This is noble.
Thank you.
And for that reason, I will like your page.
Awesome.
And I will be part of those people who will be commenting on
Thank you.
everything. And anytime you need me to
Yes.
come and help, I will.
Asante
Because this is
sana.
noble.
Thank you.
It's something that everybody needs to deal with and
Yeah.
be able to carry on with us.
Yeah.
Well, viewers, they say everything has an ending, and this one has to come to an end. But I think I need to ask Marjoline, would you return if I called you back?
Sorry?
you
Yes,
return?
of course,
you
anytime,
return?
anytime. Yes, I would.
All right.
Yes, I would actually. I would anytime. I'm
You heard it
available.
for yourself.
Yeah.
She's willing to come back, and we're going to handle this thing. We're going to keep this conversation running
Yeah.
until we have safe environments on our digital spaces.
Yeah.
Keep it elevate, advancing kingdom lifestyle. My name is Moses Muiruri, and we've been discussing cyberbullying today. Keep it elevate. God bless you.